It feels like there's a lot of excitement about this one. A lot of people use it in the workforce.
Sure.
It's been growing.
Oh, consumer
like
excitement, yes. People like it.
Yes.
People, if you read the S1, people love it. They love using Slack.
And people talk about Slack all the time.
Customer love all day long, right.
When you look through this, and of course, obviously, you're looking at the financials, but other characteristics of the IPO, what's your takeaway?
Well, if you were going to be cynical, you would say, congratulations, you reinvented AOL Instant Messenger. But you guys know, just from the platform you sit on, as far as Bloomberg is concerned, that messaging among people that work together is actually really valuable, and you could say that that's part of what stitches your network together, and it's very, very sticky. And also, if this was AOL Instant Messenger, then it would, we wouldn't be here for the Slack direct listing. It would be AOL Instant Messenger would be carved out of AOL. So obviously they have some special soft there. I think as far as comps are concerned, this company looks a lot to us like DocuSign and Dropbox, both of which went public in the last year. I think, DocuSign had about the same revenue base, growing a little slower. Dropbox had about double the revenue base, growing a little slower. But for comps also, for direct listings, we're kind of looking at Spotify, which was 10 times bigger. So this fits into neither bucket because they're not going public, right? Like DocuSign and Dropbox did, but they are doing a direct listing like Spotify did. So you don't really have a perfect analogy, which creates some excitement or at least some drama about what might happen.
What do you think, Rhett, therefore, is how investors should be digesting this as a positive thing to be buying into or a negative? Once again, it's a loss-making company. They seem to be growing at great guns, talking about $600 million in sales this year as their latest financial disclosure just moments ago. But what do you make of the fact that they're not looking to raise new money and what that means in terms of an investment?
Sure. Well, we joke about these direct listings in the office. We say that, going public without raising money is a little bit like losing your virginity without the sex. And in the case of DocuSign and Dropbox, they raised about $500 million each. Now, this company already has $800 million of capital on the balance sheet, so they don't really need the money the way the others might have. But as far as the catalyst to invest, I think there are a couple of things. The first is, this company still is making losses in a way that DocuSign and Dropbox were not. They had already turned the corner into making profits. I think the other thing you could say is, without a primary offering, an underwritten offering that is usually something that's subject to the institutional discount, there might not be as much of a catalyst for investors to decide that they want to invest right now. It's more possible that you could take a wait and see, especially when you look at the stock price charts over the last year for Dropbox and for Spotify. What was your catalyst, right? Take your time.
Well, so one thing about this, Slack does seem like a viable long-term business. But one thing in their filing back in April, the direct listing filing, they specifically talked about the potential for competition or the existing competition, Microsoft, Facebook, Cisco,
all the scary names.
Alphabet. So I wonder, I feel like some of those companies can easily replicate, if they haven't already, what Slack does. What's Slack's buffer?
Well, so this is why we thought the comparison to both DocuSign and Dropbox is really good. Like, cloud storage, like everyone kind of does that. But the Dropbox brand seems to be, pretty sticky. DocuSign, again, e-signing documents, doesn't Adobe do that? Like, lots of other people do that. What Slack has done is sort of created an awareness of their brand that seems to help them get adoption in a very viral way, even though they now are hiring enterprise salespeople to go out and get enterprise accounts. People take Slack with them because, maybe they don't want to be working, but while they're working, they like to use Slack.